Jeff and Jeremy. It's like a radiogasm.
I said, hey, babe, check it out on the podcast.
Apple Podcast, Google Podcast,
and Spotify.
All this is going viral.
It sounds like The Who.
What's that, a hoot?
The Who.
Oh, The Who? Oh, I thought it sounded like a hoot to me.
My son has discovered The Who. So it's AC/DC and The Who.
Oh, that's
so
really
far.
good. I didn't discover The Who until we were in college.
Yeah, we were listening to
Our roommate, a couple of our roommates really liked The Who.
Won't Get Fooled Again came on the radio as we were pulling in the driveway at the house, and I go to turn off the car. He's like, hey, leave it on. I like this song. Who are you?
You got to introduce him to Eminence Front so he can be cool, because that wasn't like one of their big hits.
That's deep track.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So that way, when he talks to his friends about The Who, what do you like? Eminence Front.
I'm worried that he's going to talk to his friends about The Who. His friends will be like, what's that?
Hey, listen, I grew up listening to Madonna and all the pop music. I mean, come on. You know, Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, Huey Lewis in the News.
I don't know.
About his Def Leppard. Duran Duran was as rock as I ever got.
I'm within earshot of where Paso Robles football does their practices. And they play music during their practice.
That's cool. We never got that.
And they play nothing. It sounds like they're playing KZOZ. They play nothing but classic rock. And I'm like, these are teenagers. Are they really? I mean,
there's no good music anymore.
It's all classic rock.
I mean, unless you're into like top 40 hip hop crap. No offense. I mean, I'm just not into it. I'm sure it's good.
AC/DC over there at Paso Robles.
The other night, I went over to my buddy's house, who's in his 40s, by the way, and he's listening to some girl. I'm like, what the hell is this? Justin Bieber. What? You listen to Justin Bieber? It's like, Bieber's great.
That is not allowed.
And it's not what I thought Justin Bieber was going to be. I thought Bieber was more poppy and trying to be more rappy, but it was very kind of R&B. It reminded me of, I don't want R. Kelly's too far, but somewhere in between there. He's like, oh yeah, the new Bieber's great. I'm like, God, don't tell people. I mean, it didn't sound bad. I mean, it wasn't like,
talk to me.
I don't care. It was just background noise. We were talking, but you know, a bunch of people were there, so a bunch of vaccinators. What do you call those again? You said it yesterday, right? Vaxxers.
You said yesterday that we have a lot to get to, and you mentioned it, and I didn't really get a chance to probe you on it, that you had dinner with a bunch of people that have been vaccinated. Did they all talk about the vaccination? I can't stand people talking about the vaccination. What'd you get? Oh, I got Moderna. What'd you get? Oh, I got Pfizer. Oh,
not really, no.
Do you know anybody who got the J&J? No, I didn't, but I have a friend who knows somebody who did. And
it was a group of people that, you know, we used to all hang out before this all hit, and then ever since, you know, it hit, nobody's really hung out. So we all got together, had dinner, and then went back to my buddy's backyard where we could, you know, not inside, stay outside, even though it wasn't very warm. Had a big fire pit going and kept our social distance. So... no, nobody really talked about it. I know that my buddy's girlfriend said that he was good to go because he had gotten his vaccine and it had been 2 weeks or whatever. And so I was like, oh, cool. Nobody asked me if I'd gotten a vaccine. Nobody talked about their vaccine, which was kind of nice. But I kind of knew that going in with this group of people. So
I went to dinner on Saturday night. It was a huge dinner. It was 30 people. Like, they had to rent out like a special part of the restaurant, like a banquet facility.
Were you outside or inside?
Inside. And it was weird because it was in slow. I'm not going to say where it was because I don't want to get anybody in any trouble. But
I don't think anybody's going to be in trouble, Jeff.
I don't know because it was weird. Like, everybody walked in with a mask, and then as soon as
they sat down,
as soon as they got inside, people were just yanking the mask off. They're like, all right, it's go time. At the bar, they're in the place where we had the dinner, the people upstairs.
Wow, you had a much bigger deal than I did. I was with 7 people. I was one of the 7, 6 other people. And we all wore our masks to the table, took it off when we got to the table. And then I remember having to go to the bathroom a couple of times. I brought my mask and I wore it. And people were wearing the mask when they were walking.
Pull down your mic. Tell me where you guys went. Maybe we went to the same place.
There's no way you went to the same place. We went to Black Sheep. I'll tell you where we went.
Okay.
I don't need to hide that from anybody.
So then
I forgot how big the portions are there.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I wasn't very hungry, so I'm like, just give me the chicken finger appetizer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like handing them out.
Do
Hey,
they
who wants a chicken finger? Who
Do
wants
they
a chicken
still
finger?
do the best calamari I've ever had as far as a
They might, I don't remember.
appetizer is, because
I
this
didn't remember seeing it.
calamari is not like calamari like you get everywhere else. Like you get that calamari appetizer everywhere else. It's flour dusted and then it's fried and then little octopuses and all that stuff. This is called calamari rings. It's amazing.
They're big.
But they look like onion rings.
Yeah, they're big.
They're great. And they're that's how all calamari
The food
should
there
be
is
done.
really good. If they did have, and they still have it, and I thought of you because you always used to get this when we'd go out to dinner there, is with a
Nachos?
group of people. No, the ribs. Remember the ribs on the appetizer
Ribs are
with the
great.
fries?
Yeah, the
you get
ribs
a couple
and the fries.
ribs
They
and
still
then you
have
get
that?
fries. Yep, they still have it.
Yeah, you get it off the appetizer menu because
Yep.
it comes with fries, and it's a freaking meal.
Unless they do like mac and cheese 9 different ways. I mean, it's
I cannot finish
underrated.
the ribs and the fries. I cannot finish the ribs and the fries in one sitting. And it's like what I end up doing is I end up eating all the fries because I don't like eating fries cold, and then taking the ribs home and eating them later.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
It's so much food. But anyways, it's like
So were you at a restaurant or were you at like a private like event area?
it was a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
It was a restaurant, but they had a facility for like wedding receptions and things like that. And then we were.
You were downstairs.
We were in the
Oh, I think I
Where-
know. Well, I don't know where you were at. I mean, I know some places that have places like that, but
Yeah, I'm not going to say because it drives you nuts. 1 and 2.
what are you worried about?
I don't want to get anybody in trouble
Who's going to get in trouble?
because nobody was wearing a mask at this thing.
Well, no, I just want to know what restaurant you were at. Were you in Slow or are you just outside of Slow?
Pull down the mic. Put the mic back up. Don't feel like you have this DJ need to tip everybody else off.
Okay,
I want you. Don't probe. Don't drop hints. Don't do anything like that because I don't want the place to get in trouble.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
Okay, you're gonna tell
Hold on,
me that?
microphone.
You're not gonna tell anybody else, just me.
Just you.
Boy, this is
This
is really special.
People I was there with. No,
Is this a trick?
it's not a trick.
All right, go. All right, that's a lie. Why do you have to lie?
I said Jack in the Box.
I am a sucker. I fought for it every time. I think I know where you're at.
Okay.
If it's downstairs, see, now I'm going to start saying places and people are like, oh, yeah, they said this. Because, people don't listen that well. You might have been at the Madonna because they have a downstairs area that they do this in.
Might have been.
You might have been at Giuseppe's.
Might have been.
Because they have a downstairs area that they do this in.
Might have been.
And
There's a lot of places with downstairs areas.
not really.
Yeah, there is.
Just those two.
No, there's not. I can think of
No, I don't think you can.
some others. I can think of a few others actually.
What, IHOP or Denny's or McDonald's?
You ever been to the secret room below the McDonald's on Madonna?
No, sure haven't.
How come there's not a? I mean, I understand that like restaurants aren't like big and opening up, but the 2 Applebee's that have been sitting idle for years now. I mean, we're going on close to maybe a decade.
The rent is too damn high.
But they're established restaurant places. Just anybody that wants to open a restaurant that could serve a fair amount of people move into those spots. Now I've noticed that they waved the white flag on the one in Paso Robles, and they're like, medical could come in here too.
I wish we could get something good over there in the Madonna. I mean, you got Buffalo Wild Wings right next door, which I'm sure they're just, bleeding. And so but they have the backing to do it. But it'd be nice to get some other kind of chain that, we don't really see around
You want
here.
them to open up a Buffalo Wild Wings right next door to a Buffalo Wild Wings?
No. I'm saying Buffalo Wild Wings has been able to survive there. But, I think they have the income to back them up because I'm sure they're bleeding money because that rent has got to be so expensive and you can't really do anything. And it's a popular place when you can go in. I don't know. I'd like to see something come in. 805-543-3693. Those are the numbers to join the program anytime. We call them the 805 beer lines. Live the 805 lifestyle. Go to 805beer.com. If you didn't catch it yet, we're giving away $1,000. It's called the KZOZ $1,000 playlist. You could win $100 every single day. And if you need details on that, hang tight. We'll give them to you coming up here in just a few minutes.
Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here. It's the $1,000 playlist. That's right. You can win $1,000. How about $100 every day? Go to KZOZ.com to do it. It's brought to you by Perry Ford Lincoln. All you have to do is submit your playlist. You pick 3 songs, you sign up, you submit them, starting on Friday and every day next week and the week thereafter. If you hear your 3 songs in a row, you need to call in before the 3rd song is over, and you'll win $100 instantly. You can also text. You don't have to call. You can call or text. And you're in to win that $1,000.
I so badly want to participate, but obviously we can't win.
I signed up.
$100.
I don't know. If
I think what we should do on Friday morning is maybe we kick off the show with your playlist and then my playlist, or my playlist and then your playlist.
Here's the thing,
just to kind of give people an idea on what they're looking for.
Here's the insider to the whole contest. We never play 3 songs in a row in the morning. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's rare. We normally just play 2.
Out this information?
We normally just play 2. So if you hear, they'll know it's your 2 songs. But if you hear that 3rd song, it's a playlist.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your playlist?
That's until 10 o'clock.
I know some people wrote in, they're upset they have to get up early. People don't always get up early. Some people get up 9, 10 o'clock. So
yeah, especially KZOZ listeners.
6 to 10, or no, 6
all about
to
that stimulus, right?
Is us, but 6 to 7 o'clock is what you need to be listening for in that window. You hear your playlist when the 3rd song starts. Make sure you get through. Call or text 805-543-3693 before that song ends. If you do it, you win $100. If you don't, we carry that $100 over to the next person, and then they'll be happy because they'll win 200 or 3 or 4 or whatever. All the details are at KZOZ.com. Online, you can find us, KZOZ.com, to stream us. You can also catch the podcast there. You can subscribe to the podcast. Just search Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on all the players, and it'll pop right in.
Yesterday, I find this fascinating because I have not worked in the industry in a long time, but there were certain tricks that we used to do in the rental car business to get people to spend a little bit more money once they made the reservation, and you had to rent a car because you're getting some work done on your car.
Yeah.
And I dropped you off at the rental car place, and I know that you booked either a compact or an economy car, right?
I just made it. I didn't book anything. All I did was make an appointment.
Yeah, the lowest rate that the insurance would pay for. So
yeah, but here's the thing: I got in there and it was all screwed up. And he's like, "Well, it says here the insurance isn't paying for it." I go, "Yes, they are." And so I had to call my insurance company.
That's one of the tricks.
I had to call my insurance company. Well, yeah, I'm not paying. They cover my rental. So they cover. And so, that took, 10 minutes, not too long. And then we got the guy in, and then we go out to get to the car. And
so when I pulled in, I noticed that there were and this used to happen to us all the time in the rental car business. And I know this for a fact. Is rental car companies, they do not keep a lot of economies and compacts in their fleet, because if they did, they wouldn't have anything to upsell people to. So we would keep, the majority of our cars were full sized and above. SUVs, vans, things like that, so we could upgrade to them. The economies and the compacts, they would go out to the cheapest insurance rates that you could possibly imagine. We had a government contract at the place I worked, so the government employees always got the smallest. It was a bad car too, because this was in the 90s, so it's like a Mitsubishi Eclipse or something.
Yeah, I was afraid that I was going to get some little box. Like, I remember last time I went to rent a car, they tried to give me this little Fiat. And
the 2-seater Fiat.
It was so small, and I'm like, no, I'm not driving that.
Or no, it's not a 2-seater, but it looks like it should be a 2-seater.
Yeah, and then
it's a 2-door.
They put me in a Buick Regal, And then I drove that from the one on Grand Avenue.
How long ago was this?
This is a couple years ago.
Couple?
And then I brought it here and I called him. I said, I don't want to drive this thing. There was something weird about it. I don't remember what it was. And they're like, all right, we'll come over to our Broad Street location. And we just work down the street. So I'm like, sure, no problem. And then they ended up giving me, they're like, oh, you drive a truck. We have a truck. You want the truck. So they gave me some Nissan Titan and I drove that.
They tried to get you to spend a little bit more on it?
Nope. Didn't say a word. Which I was surprised. I kept waiting for it because I know you and we have a lot of friends that ended up working for,
rental car places,
Enterprise being one of them. And I know you guys are always trying to work the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had an idea going into this. I'm looking around and going, okay, a lot of SUVs.
Yeah, when I dropped you off, I was excited for you because there was nothing but SUVs on the lot. I was like, oh, you're going to get
some old lady brought her car back, and it was a Chevy Malibu.
Oh.
And I don't know what you call this. If it's not a compact, it's a 4-door.
Intermediate or full size by rental car standards.
And so you go out and look at it, because this is all I have unless you want to spend a little more, then you can have the truck or the SUVs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, no, I don't need, I just need something to get me from point A to point B.
So I got to tell you this.
But then it was dirty. And he's like doing all this. We're walking around. I go, this thing's filthy. He goes, I'm going to go take it to the car wash. I go, I don't care about the outside. The inside, there's like dog hair and just, it's gross. And so he's looking at me, and I know he was already getting nervous. Like I was going to so he was gone for like 25 minutes, and the car wash is right next door. He cleaned the hell out of that thing. And I got to say, he brought it back, and I said, hey, thanks for cleaning it.
Yeah, but they ended up making it super inconvenient for you, right?
But yes, that's true.
You want to walk in and grab the car.
I just was hoping in 10 minutes I would be on my way. Instead, it was 45 minutes. Maybe closer to an hour.
We used to do this all the time.
But I should expect a clean car when I rent a car, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's part of their obligation is to give me a clean car.
I know I dropped you off a little earlier than your reservation time.
5 minutes.
Time was for?
5 minutes.
So, what we used to do, because, God, we were terrible. Like on the really low rates that people were going to be in the car for a long time, we didn't want them to take one of the nicer cars out, because that meant if they got one of those free upgrades, that nicer car was going to be out for 4 weeks sometimes, especially on these government contracts, for 4 weeks, unable to be upsold into during that period of time. So if somebody had an appointment at, say, 11 o'clock and they came in, their flight got in early or something, because I worked at the airport, and they sometimes would willy-nilly make it for 11 o'clock, and then they'd get through baggage claim and all that stuff super early. They got there at 10:10. We'd be like, oh yeah, see, you have a reservation here at 11 o'clock. We're still waiting for the car that you reserved to be returned. So you're going to have to wait.
Even though the car was there, wasn't it?
50 minutes before we can well, there was other cars that we could have given them. Yes. We're going to have to, you have to wait until your actual reservation time. And they'll be like, what? And in many instances, we wanted them to walk because we weren't making any money off of that rental whatsoever.
I see.
None.
Like me, probably not making much money.
They'd be like, well, fine, I'm going to go to Alamo. And be like, okay, well, see if they have anything available, for your rate. Now, if you want to go right now, I can put you in a car that we have available.
It's going to cost you. Did you get commission on it?
Yeah, we did. It was such a shady, like I felt so bad. It was
good that I made this sucker work, because he's showing me this car and he goes, oh, I'll run it through the car wash. I go, no, I want the inside clean. And he did. He cleaned the windows. He cleaned everything. But like I said, he was gone for 25 minutes.
Granted, renting a car here and renting a car at SeaTac International Airport, two different monsters.
Yeah, sure.
Here, I've had nothing but pleasant experience after, because it's a smaller area.
You did a good job.
It's one of the benefits of living in a smaller area.
I don't know if I should have had to wait 45, 50 minutes to get my when I had an appointment. Is that...
you could have said, hey, I'll spend a little bit extra money and get the SUV. They would have probably been more than happy to give you an SUV.
Well, sure, two people came in, walked in after me, and then drove out of there before he came back with my clean car.
So then we had a grace period. This is really bad. This is really bad. I won't say what company I worked for, because I'm sure they've changed their practices since the 90s. But we had a grace period. It was a 59-minute grace period for a car to be returned. So then if they wanted to wait until 11 o'clock, they'd say, okay, I'll go grab a bite to eat at the airport bar or whatever. They would come back at 11. and they say, okay, I'm here to rent my 11 car. We're like, yeah, apparently it still hasn't come back yet.
You have another 59-minute grace period?
Yes.
You're such an ass.
We give,
Oh my
not
God,
me. It's not me. It was the policy of the company I worked for.
Yeah, but you were working it.
And
So here's my question. If they didn't have an economy, whatever my insurance said they would pay for, would they had to have put me in something else and gave me the same rate?
yes, after that 59-minute grace period is up and that car doesn't get returned. So then I would tell the person, they have 59 minutes to bring it back. This was before cell phones and text messages and all that stuff. So, you want to check back here in 30 minutes and maybe the car will be back by then. They'll start cleaning it. By the time we process the paperwork, we'll get you down to our office and then you can go in the car, or you can rent Subaru Outback, because that's what we had most of in our fleet.
And that was money in your pocket. Watch out,
it
man.
was such a shady business.
It probably
Such
still
a shady
is.
business.
Just be aware. There's a little customer service. Or a little
let me say, I want
due
to
diligence.
preface it with, like, around here, it's fine. Okay. Like, you're renting a car around here. Normally they're just going to put you in a car and say good day. And that's it. I mean, I've never had a situation like what I used to be on the other side of when I worked but when I worked at SeaTac.
It's funny because I walked in there. He's like, "Oh, it didn't say your insurance company's paying for it here. You're going to have to pay for it. I need a credit card." I go, "No, that's okay. I'm going to call my insurance company."
That'll happen.
And
too.
then I said, "I'll be back." So I went outside. I said, "I'm going to step outside." So 10 minutes later, "Oh, and we don't have a car. Oh, wait, here it is. It's dirty. I'm going to have to go clean it. It's going to take a while." But we can't put you in this SUV over here, or that pickup over there.
Look at this clean car right here, huh? It'll only cost you another $15, $20 a day.
Go sweat it off, boy. Give me my car.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here. So does your daughter still have any Girl Scout cookies left, or did she sell them out? The gal that cuts my hair wants to buy some. I forgot to tell you this.
The date is passed.
What date?
The date for the cookies. You can't sell anymore.
They won't let you sell anymore? Well, this story I saw today, there's a bunch of Girl Scout cookies sitting in a warehouse. Here.
Girl Scout cookies in a normal year would not be sitting in this warehouse. What we didn't anticipate is how many fewer girls would set up cookie booths and go door to door to sell online.
The Girl Scout organization says they will make sure that no troops, girls, or volunteers are left financially responsible for any excess inventory of Girl Scout cookies.
It's a lot of cookies. I did not know there were this many cookies left over. I think people want cookies, they just don't know where to find them, and I think that these cookies can get sold.
720,000 unsold boxes are sitting in a warehouse. What do you call them, the Girl Scout cookie hotline?
Yeah, that's otherwise known as my wife.
Does she have a name, like a den mother name or anything like that?
She was in charge of the cookies this year.
Does she go?
Hey, what happens with all the unsold cookies for the Girl Scouts?
Donating them.
Donating them to who?
Like to an old folks home or something, probably.
You got any more lemonades?
No, we don't have any lemonade. Just like peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter patties. Yeah, peanut butter patties. Peanut butter patties.
We have peanut butter patties. Yes.
You know what? Bring them to work. I know some old people. Wait. I'll donate it to them.
No, that's such a lie.
What?
Please,
that is such a lie.
Please, absolutely not.
Yes, I'm a big fan of old people. I'll donate the hell out of them.
Jeremy.
So wait, hold on a second. We couldn't sell them if we wanted to? Because now I'm thinking about, home improvement stuff. Because now that the date has passed, I mean, there's still some people out there that want some cookies, right?
I'm not talking to you guys about this anymore.
Oh, are you uncomfortable?
Yes.
Well, did you hear about the warehouse that's got 720,000 unsold boxes of Girl Scout cookies just sitting in it?
I did.
Okay. So
how many? We have a garage with about, 25 unsold boxes of cookies.
And those are all being donated. Don't you worry about it.
Is that what they ask you to do, is donate them?
Well, it's like a whole process. I'm not getting into this with you guys.
Should we really be taking them to an old folks home? I mean,
why does this feel so shady all of a sudden?
Had I known that I was going to be on air, I probably wouldn't have said an old folks home. Like maybe I would have called it like a retirement community.
Oh, that's fine.
Nobody's
Nobody's that sensitive over here.
No.
Listen, I just feel shady to
We
me
know
that
what
you
you
don't
mean.
want to
What'd you
talk
say?
about it. Now I feel like there's something up and you don't want to talk about it, so that's weird.
There's nothing up, but I don't want to give like the wrong information. I'm not the Girl Scout leader, so I don't have the final say in that. So
That's
I'm
not what Jeff said.
Weren't you the
not-
cookie leader?
Yes, there's a difference in being the cookie person and the actual Girl Scout leader, though.
So now the Girl Scout leader is the one that makes the decisions on what happens with these cookies?
I don't know how it works.
If
Who does make the
if this
decision?
Girl Scout leader is driving like a Bentley in the next couple months, I'm going to have lots of questions.
No, like your troop has to pay for them, so like it comes out of like your troop funds that you raise throughout the year, and
But
then
it-
you just donate them that way.
I see. So it doesn't cost your family anything. It comes out of the troop fund.
It'll come out of like troop funds, yeah.
Because
like,
I know,
unsold.
I got people lined up to buy, and I'm only looking for a small commission, like one box of peanut butter patties. I got people lined up.
So you're
Out of
saying
your
if we
mind.
sold the boxes that
Absolutely
we,
not.
if we sold
As
the boxes
a
that
matter
are in
of
our
fact, I'm going
garage,
to donate those right now, just so we don't even have to talk about it
we're
ever
going to
again.
donate them to the neighbors?
Oh God, okay.
This is so weird. Are you going to get like offed by the Girl Scout cub leader? Or
I
something?
don't know. Like
I
the
mean,
little Girl Scouts are very, very intimidating.
Is
Yeah.
our daughter not going to get her pink backpack?
I know you're so like nervous. This is Girl Scout
I don't want to
cookies.
give the wrong information. Like
Yes.
I don't want to give the wrong information. All I know is that our troop is donating the cookies we have left over. That is all I know. As far as the other logistics of it, I have no idea.
So if I want some, I'm out. It's too late.
You're getting bub kissed, my friend.
What is the inventory?
It's not very good customer service.
What is the inventory procedure on this? Just out of curiosity.
What do you mean?
Like, how are they going to know how many we have?
Because we're honest people, Jess. That is how it works. We know how many we have left. It would have been nice for you to like tell me, like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to call you and talk to you about Girl Scout cookies, so I would know, like,
Well, then you wouldn't be honest. Even
I
though you're an
would be
honest family. Honest family doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. No, I
Could
get
you
it.
imagine being the type of person who's just like, and taking from the Girl Scouts and like your little Girl Scout?
No, I know
Come on.
I know how this goes. Like, oh my God, did you hear Becky? She was on some radio station talking about, milk cookies, and she, oh
Who's
my
Becky?
God.
My wife's name's Rachel. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, Rachel. Sorry, your girlfriend said. I don't know who Becky is. Rachel.
All right,
Just
Rach.
running her mouth, and now we got to do this. No, I get it. I get how these mothers can be. I apologize.
I love you, Rach.
Thank you. If
All
there's
right.
if,
Love
the-
you.
if there's
Bye.
any that you want to donate over here, okay, bye. Well, now I feel like I'm really screwed. Like any chance I had at getting peppermint patties are gone.
They're not
Peppermint patties.
They're
I'm sorry,
not
peanut butter patties.
They're not,
Peanut butter.
They're not peppermint patties.
No, they're peanut butter
Thin
patties.
mints if you want those other ones.
No, I hate the thin mints. Everybody likes them. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, hate's a strong word, but it's just like not my favorite.
You like the peanut butter ones that are dipped in chocolate, those ones, or the peanut butter ones that are the sandwich, like the Oreos?
Either one, I like them both.
Yeah.
I'm not picky when
I
it
like
comes to
the
peanut
I like
butter.
the ones that are like more like Oreos. To be
And then
honest with
if
you,
I could put some Santa
It's a
Cruz
little-
peanut butter on top of whatever,
it's a little rich
on
with,
top of it
with the chocolate one.
glass of milk.
There's a lot of stuff. You
Milk
got a
will cut
cookie, you got a peanut butter, you got chocolate on top of it. Do you really need all that much on a cookie?
So
I don't think you do.
All these Girl Scout cookies, 720,000 boxes, just sitting in a warehouse. Nobody knows what's going to happen with them. Apparently,
About
they're going to
26
get donated.
26 of them are sitting in my garage.
So here's the deal: if you got anybody in an old person's home or whatever your wife said there, Rachel, a old person's home or a whatever retirement home, and maybe hit up your grandma, grandpa, or uncle or whoever
Yeah,
it is. Say, hey, let me know if any cookies come in. I'll buy them for you.
All the old people have all the power right now.